Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Woo, hello and welcome to Exodus, trans angels on the run in a fascist dystopia. Like dice through the dice tower, these are the gays of our lives. A group of therapists, educators, and spiritual leaders playing queer tabletop RPGs in order to embrace our identities, build community, and share the magic of playing queer games with queer people. Gaze of Our Lives stream every other Sunday starting at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will play queer games with queer characters and then talk about our experience. Want to know how to use games to build space for your queer clients? Check us out as we discuss how each game can benefit the queer communities we work with. Each season of Gaze of Our Lives, we choose a theme within queerness. The theme for this season is traveling and moving through the world queer.
All right, to me for some announcements. We've got a bunch of announcements, and I have put them in chronological order. um, on 4/21 at 8 p.m. Eastern, the second episode of Community Care Play Your Part will be streaming, hosted by Renee and Hallie. Hallie is one of our Gays of Our Live cast members. Um, joins Join them as they explore community care practices in tabletop games and adapt the mechanics for our own community care games. Renee told us on Friday night cast stream what game they were going to be playing, and I completely forgot, but it's going to be a good one. I remember we were excited about it. um, this Friday night cast will be taking a break on 4/15 for a couple of holidays, but we will be back on 4/22 and we'll continue playing Wanderhome. So join the crew in their travels in Haith in search of Ollie's parents, who, while not with us, are not lost. Find out what our animal friends are up to next on April 22nd. April 23rd and 24th is Real Women of Gaming TogetherCon. TogetherCon will have everything that a physical convention would have: panels, guests, media rooms, workshops, TTRPG live shows, cosplayers, and common spaces where con goers can get together and talk about mutual gaming likes, as well as free TTRPG tables for pickup games. And I believe we're going to be doing, well, at least some of the cast of Gays of Our Lives will be doing a one shot for TogetherCon. So
doing
that's
a special
exciting.
episode of Gays of Our Lives. So I believe
Mm-hmm.
that means we're going to delay our debrief episode
No,
to 2 weeks after that. No?
no, it's
Same
we're gonna
weekend?
do it on the 23rd is when we're gonna do our
Okay, right.
TogetherCon, and then we will debrief the next day.
Okay, during TogetherCon.
You get double the Gays of Our Lives next time around. And then after that, on 4/28 at 9:30 p.m. Eastern is the next episode of Tabletop Transformations. Menachem and Tanya welcome Tony Vasinda as their guest. Menachem, what are you all going to be talking about with Tony?
Well, as we do every time, the intersection of games and spirituality. How can we use tabletop role playing games to think about our spiritual selves, answer those deep questions of who am I? Why am I here? What is right and wrong? What makes me come alive? Tony is a man of bearded virtue and a game designer and a great champion of indie games. You can catch him on Plus One EXP if you want to watch what he's doing now. He's on many days a week.
All right. I have seen a couple of his episodes. I think I watched the one for Galactic when
They
we
play
were
they
prepping
did
Star
play
Wars or
they play
Galactic.
Galactic 2E. Yep,
Yeah,
with Riley.
yeah, and that was fun to watch.
Yeah.
One more announcement. We're gearing up for TAGS, the Therapeutic and Applied Geeking Gaming Summit, which is hosted by Geek Therapy. It's a nonprofit that does all kinds of wonderful things with gaming and mental health and all of that. So, tickets are on sale now. It is June 10th through 12th. You can get them now for the early bird price through the end of April, and submissions for panels and workshops are still open until the 22nd of April. So you could still get those in. And shortly after that, we will be getting the list together of who will be presenting. And I'm very excited about some of the names we have on the list. If you didn't know, I'm part of Geek Therapy's like board. So
No, just that.
just that. All right. With that, our announcements are done. And we can
Awesome.
get
Thank you.
into what
And
we're
no
here
one
for
died.
now. No one died. It was a long announcement list, though.
And sorry for my weird face. The cat that was in my lap got up, and it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, there was so much fur, I couldn't even see my pants. So apologies for that. So yes, we are playing a game today. And that game is Exodus, designed by Erica Shepard. We have our lovely Menachem as our Vanna White. And we'll toss a link for where that is on Itch.io. And it is explicitly an homage to an interpretation of the album Transangelic Exodus by Ezra Furman. And we'll pop the link for that also in the chat.
And Ezra is currently on tour.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding. Do you know how long that tour goes for?
It's going to be a while, but it's also going to be, in other countries. But I know they're going to be in this country for a little while.
Yeah. So
and
if you feel
play with Jack White.
Oh, that's pretty rad. I have a friend who is a massive Jack White fan, so I'm going to definitely tell him you need to combine that with Ezra. You can find Ezra at her Twitter and probably get more information about the tour at Ezra Furman, EZRAFURMAN. And we'll be tossing all that info in the chat so you can see it there. Exodus is a role-playing story game about being on the run in a society that is turned against you. Sounds familiar. It's a story of angels on the road, making community as they go, and trying to find somewhere better. It's a game rooted in a time, an autobiography, and a plan, and a dream, and a fear, all in one. Exodus is a GM-full or GM-less game, depending on how you look at your tabletop, based on Avery Alder and Benjamin Rosenbaum's Belonging Outside Belonging system. The game is for 2 to 4 players and usually takes about 3 to 4 hours to play. But do not fret. We are absolute professionals at extending one-shots to 4 and even more sessions, as you've experienced.
Since this is episode 6.
Yes, this is episode 6. And we'll see if we get to wrap it up today. If not, we'll have a little bit when you tune in to us next to be able to wrap up any loose ends if we feel like wrapping them up. Sometimes it's important to leave some loose ends. And I learned that from Fiddler on the Roof. I'm still trying to tie them up, but sometimes not meant to be solved. So with that, I don't want to delay anymore. I'm super excited to get into this. There's been so much interesting growth and experiences that we've gotten to have as players and characters. And I want to get right back to it. Menachem, can you swing us back over there?
Yeah, so the way we get into it, we step into the magic circle of play, a much discussed theory about gaming where we form a circle or table or screen of play wherein which the rules of daily living really don't apply anymore. And to start, we ask ourselves a couple of questions to make the transition. So we have made a little family of angels here, a community, a family. So players, what is family to you? What does it mean to you? How does it work in your life? And there's only 4 of us. Who wants to go first?
I'm not going first this time. I'm just putting that out there.
I can go first.
Okay.
So, what is family? Family to me includes the people that you care about and like go to with all the things you need support for. Can be friends, relatives, really anyone. So it's more about a feeling rather than anything else, any type of blood or legal type of connection. Yeah.
Call on somebody.
Laura.
All right. Family, I mean, we talked on Friday Night Cast a lot about family, and the definition of family. I definitely feel a strong tie to a lot of my blood family. They're the people I spent most of my time with. But I think, especially around the time that Nina and I got married, we realized that our friends were our family too. And like, one of our friends is, we call her our daughter. She calls us moms. It's a joke from a convention where she was running around in a Jawa costume yelling, "Moms, don't leave me!" And people thought we had left a small child at the convention. So, and we have adopted several international friends as family and kids too. But they are people that I would drop everything for and go to help them. Even the ones that I haven't talked to probably in 6 months to a year. Those people that if they needed me, I would be there for them. It's all about love. Menachem.
So I used to do, for about 14 years, I did street outreach to LGBTQIA plus and our homeless youth, like on the streets and in youth centers. And they had these beautiful family relationships. They made families with each other, right? And they had, you know, my gay mom and my trans mom and all that. And I still remember when I started getting people saying, "I'm your daughter," like from the street, or a couple of the kids still, they're not kids, they're 30 years old now, but they call me their space dad. Like, no one knows where it came from, but it's like, oh, you know, and you'll be my kid forever. So I tell, there's a handful of them I still have contact with. But there also is this interesting draw to my blood family, right? People I grew up with. I also have a really large amount of family that I don't know because of family arguments, you know, when I was a baby or even before I was born, that where sisters didn't talk to each other ever again, kind of thing, you know. And so it's kind of like this. Sometimes I feel disconnected from things because there's so much family out there I don't know, you know, and a lot of them live in the Chicago area. So there is something about that blood feeling of where am I from? You know, what's my history? But I definitely love and value chosen family and have more than just these kids from the street. I call them kids, but they're adults, you know, because they're my kids, you know, more than that, just friends who are forever going to be my family. So, yeah.
Yes, that leaves me. Yeah, it's interesting. I think I grew up with this big duality of, you know, family as it's portrayed in media and in society and, you know, different communities within that society. My dad's family everybody stayed pretty close together, him and his brother and sister. And so I saw them a lot. We were always at my aunt's house for Thanksgiving. We were always hanging out with my uncle's family during the summer in like their family cabin they'd all built together. And, it showed this representation of family as, everybody's like weird and can be dysfunctional and super different. But, we all find a way to coexist. And then there's also my, and then I don't think we talked about it a lot, but my uncle's wife was adopted, and so that was always just kind of like hanging around, but we didn't really talk about what that means. Just that like she was very thankful to her adopted parents, and but I've never really spoken to her about that and what that experience is like. But on my mom's side, you know, everybody barely talks. She's the youngest. Her middle brother doesn't speak to the family anymore. There was a falling out with their mom, my grandmother, and my other uncle moved all the way out to California. He's a very sweet guy, but I barely got to see him. So, and he was kind of like this quirky professor character. So in that sense, like family wasn't really this tight knit thing. So it was this like mixture of like family is like it's blood and genetics, but it's also law, and it's sort of this idea of, you know, these are people you can't get away from, even if you decide never to talk to them again. I know of my uncle. I know of that doesn't connect to the family much anymore. You know, of them, they're like the important people in your immediate vicinity that, regardless of anything else, like you need to know about them. And then a little bit in high school, and then in college, it did become like the chosen family thing, both because I came out as queer and found, you know, the people that I connected with through that and supported me. And then art school, you know, we're a bunch of weirdos, and it's, I don't know, we find that connection. So I guess in summation, yeah, it's kind of people that in some sense, metaphorically or otherwise, that you can never walk away from or fully disconnect from. Be that in a positive or whatever.
Awesome.
Take it how you will.
Before we get back to our angels and the found family, the one last question. There's only two, so it's hard to say last, but it's what hopes, concerns, or expectations do you have for today's game? I lost the word I was trying to say. Questions.
Yeah, so that back to me. I just realized as we were answering the first question that I deeply interconnect family with my mom. And I guess it makes me really sad. So, because she died. And it's just interesting how like deeply interconnected like grief and loss are with like how family even changes. Because when I was growing up, I had like this huge family that in adoption, blood, all of that with us. And I thought this was like my forever support system. And then I lost it because it's like my mom was a connection. So I found really great people, but apparently I'm having a lot of emotions. So a little concerned about that, but I know we'll get into the game and have fun too. So, all right, Laura.
It's important to feel those feelings and honor those feelings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. let me see. Concerns. I am still tired. Nina and I are in the process of packing and moving, and we're packing right until we got into this call. So transitioning into we're glad we've had some time to transition into play mode. We'll see how my energy level is today. But I'm also excited to see what happens. I hope that all of our angels end up somewhere they need to be. I think that's my hope.
Maggie, in Hebrew, we say, Zichrona livracha. May her memory always be for a blessing.
Thank you.
Going into today's game, I found recently, that I'm doing this Friday night also, that I'm really enjoying playing a character without much of a backstory, without a tragedy, without complexity, without being central to the story. Even though I'm big personality, the plot doesn't revolve around my character. And I'm doing that in a couple games. There's something, we'll probably talk about this more in the debrief, but wow, what a freaking relief to be able to like not have any like shit you're working through and stuff to work out.
You know, Monacham, I would really like that for myself one of these games.
You know, so I was just kind of understanding why I'm so attracted to that character type right now. I'm really, really enjoying it. So I just want to, you know, I don't need a backstory. I don't need to figure out why I'm the god, the angel lover, or anything like that. Just do it and play with my fun personality. Yeah, maybe I'll have some of that at some points in our lives.
Mary, I just wanted to like leap right through my screen and like give you a big old hug. I may be small, but I give mighty hugs.
She does give some pretty good hugs.
I believe that.
And yeah, it's I'm kind of curious in thinking about how do events change family. You know, as you were speaking to sort of, you know, having a matriarch, and I know Laura and I have talked a lot about, and our family, her dad is very much like the patriarch that like brings everybody together despite any kind of upset or differences. It's the only kind of patriarchy I'm for.
He's a pretty non-toxic patriarch, just saying.
Yeah. And this, you know, even different life events change what family means. I know that, you know, when Laura and I got married, as I started leaning much more towards establishing that foundation between the two of us, especially once my stepdad passed away, it really challenged that previous relationship that my mom and I had developed. And so I'm curious for today's game, how will kind of coming to the end or very close to the end of this particular story for our characters, what will that realization, how will that affect this family that we've created? You know, is it this thing that we've been thinking of where we've been, you know, building, you know, this really close net, or like that will connect us? Or for some of our characters, has that been the family we needed to get to where we as individuals need to be? And so yeah, so I'm curious how that will play out when we come to the point that we've all been trying to seek out this whole time. But
Amen, everybody. So as we prepare to step into that circle, we'll do the name game. We never quite leave ourselves behind, but we try and step as much as we can into the characters' lives. So we'll say our player names. we'll each repeat the player names, then we'll say the character names and welcome the characters into manifestation.
All right. Hello, I'm Mary or Maggie.
Hey,
Hey,
Mary,
Mary,
Maggie.
Maggie.
And hi, I'm Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hi.
I'm Lara,
Hey, Lara.
Yeah.
Lara.
and I'm Wheels today.
What
Big wheel keep on turning.
Please.
I am Menachem,
Hey, Menachem.
Menachem.
and I am Lava.
Hey,
Hello.
Hey,
Leva.
Lover.
Oh, I am Nina.
Hey,
Hello,
Nina.
Nina.
Hi, Nina.
Today I'm playing Moisha. What?
Hey,
Hey,
Moy.
Moy.
Hey, Moy.
Take a deep breath. Step into character and back into the game. We last saw ourselves at the underground base of the underground, having thwarted some of the techies' plans to take over the woods by having haunted tractor. It's a little bit of a Scooby-Doo plot.
Mhm.
And we're getting ready we take off towards the river. We heard that there was a gathering of angels. Not only was it just a good idea to go there that we had heard before, felt, but now we know that there are angels gathering up at the Mississippi River.
I'm going to throw our map up real quick. Our map. So, nice big explosion from last time when we blew up the tractor. And then I guess we're heading this way. Somewhere along the way. All right.
And we don't have a vehicle anymore, do we? Or,
Unless we borrowed one from the underground.
I mean, we got a motorcycle. We have one vehicle.
Do we still have the motorcycle? Is the motorcycle
Oh,
okay
no.
from that tree?
Right.
Mhm.
You destroyed your motorcycle.
Oopsies.
Oh, baby.
Okay, let's see. We got any moves here we can spend some tokens on that will
Yeah.
solve this?
I mean, well, they have dirt bikes that are four-wheelers,
yeah.
that kind
Yeah.
of thing. And we have wings, most of us. Yeah.
Maybe we could beg off a vehicle.
Let's see. Um, is there?
Well, supplies can offer us something we want at a cost.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Um,
Or give someone else what we want.
I'll arm wrestle them for it.
I guess we could go back to what, Andy? Was that my sugar daddy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to his house he has out here and borrow another vehicle. Probably actually has a couple SUVs or something there.
Yeah.
He's grown a conscience, so maybe he would. Maybe he'd give it to you.
If he's still there. Yeah. Right. He
Yeah.
decided he was going to knit things for animals that need rescuing, right?
That's right. That's right. So,
Maybe his change of heart makes him more like
Yeah.
open to letting us use a vehicle.
Do we want to play that out?
yeah, we can. We can play it out a little bit. Trying. I just want to. I was like, ooh, I want to have like a little bit of like silly fun with this.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
let's start with some silly fun.
So I guess like as you approach his little glamp cabin in the woods.
Yeah, it's not much of a. Wouldn't call it a cabin.
Yeah.
The garage is bigger than most cabins.
I think Andy would still call it a
Yeah,
petite
my
little
cabin.
cabin.
It's my 6-bedroom, 4-car garage cabin.
It's a mansion cabin. Basically could be a hotel. In the a traditional like either arts and crafts or oh goodness.
A-frame.
Anyway, some of us have to carry Moy and Z.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that far,
Yeah.
but
But
are
we
you
still can fly a little.
Yeah, and yeah, oh yeah, carrying, yeah, in that way. I don't know why I immediately went to like piggyback rides.
Powered with wings.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does
As we approach,
as you approach, like you can see that some of the lights are on, and so it looks like somebody's home.
all right, land.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should knock on the go. I guess we should go in.
Yeah.
So there's there's a little owl near the door. As you do you like knock, or do you just try to open the door? I
I
guess.
just try and open the door.
So the little owl is like, and who might you be? And as you look in, it like does a little facial recognition thing.
Hmm.
And it goes, ooh. Andy's been expecting you.
Really? Just here last night.
And then the little like mechanical owl seems to like its head pops up and whirls around basically, and you hear the door unlatch and it like opens for you, and you see Andy like through the open floor plan, like sort of Tony Starkish in the back working
Hey,
on.
Lucy.
Oh, my brain's not I wanted to go with that maybe Andy comes up and just starts ragging on you about all the work that he's been having to do and been worrying about you.
We've had a busy 24. Let's see. We saw each other yesterday. Was it yesterday in game?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or like, I mean, if we were saying at the
there's a
like
recap.
48 hours or
We found Andy on the road,
Mhm.
and then we went and we got rid of the
but
walkie-talkie,
then we were hanging
And-
out for a little bit, so it's like
and then
2 or
I
3 days.
visited him. Right, so maybe it's a couple days. I
Yeah.
visited him, spent some time with him. He
Mhm.
decided to rethink some of his ways,
Mhm.
and then we went and destroyed the thing. And now we're coming back. Okay, so it's been a couple days.
And yeah, in the background you also see that in addition to like a little knit, like a very cush and like ultimate chair for his own hand knitting, that he's also got some robots that are working on knitting designs as well, of course.
I think
I guess it counts as
Wheels is just gonna walk into his kitchen and start packing up some food for us because that's what Wheels would do. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
And a little like little butler robot with a tray just like rolls up to you and has like just a array of various beverages from like of course at least like sparkling water and up to offer you.
I'm assuming this place is pretty well stocked,
Mm-hmm.
for holding up for weeks on end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna miss this.
Darling, we're home.
So Andy starts to like run around and sort of like you may not understand exactly all his terminology that he's using because it's it's knitting, but somehow he's like techified it, so made it kind of incomprehensible.
Oh, those colors are beautiful.
But it's like knitting, but I've made it even more efficient than if a human did it, because why? It just takes so long. I can help so many more people if I have machines. And the animals. And then he's like, and of course my favorite, and then he kind of opens up like a cabinet like you might expect in like I don't know, like a superhero lair, and it's all like custom lit, and it's just like and it's various like chainmail for each of the four of us. And so he takes out like he takes out a chainmail and with some plate mail that's kind of like a crop top and helps put it onto Lover.
Wow, how fashion forward and backward all at the same time.
And he then like goes
Alex,
to,
hit me.
he gets a little like from like heavy metal, the like chainmail bikini, and starts to put that on you as well, or at least like hold it up for you.
You should have put that on under the plate.
Well, it's only like a crop top, so the bikini, they're not overlapping. But then he's like, I know you like as little as possible, but I also have to protect you. And presses like an almost indistinguishable. It looks like some sort of design element on either side, so that if you like put your hands on your hips, it immediately has this like ultra lightweight but tough, sturdy material that then comes out of the bikini without harming you in any way, and basically wraps you in armor from head to toe should you need it.
I am.
I was gonna say we all got Iron Man suits now. Is that
Iron Angel.
Ooh.
Right.
Oh, you're so delightful, dear.
Andy's gonna sort of like usher you each forward, and so the other ones, like Andy doesn't know you that well, so he just made a plethora of different options, and so I think since Wheels is off in the kitchen, he'll kind of wave to Alex to come forward and be like any friend of Lover's is a friend of mine, and ushers you forward to
Alex is a dear, dear old friend.
Pick something up.
Alex like takes a step back. It's like, I don't really, that's really nice of you, but I don't know why we need it. And I'm a little uncomfortable with chainmail bikinis.
Well,
On me.
what is your style?
Black and all my skin covered.
And so he presses a button on the display, and the display like rotates in and of itself, and it like pulls out all this like faux like vegan leatherwork style.
Alex is the angel of death. Doesn't freak him out.
I think that maybe he starts to get a little nervous, and he's
Alex puts out
Yeah.
their hand to shake your hand.
they shake your hand and say it's quite nice to make your acquaintance. You're such an essential part of what happens in the universe, and just like trying to make a good impression and make sure that like basically like trying to suck up to you very awkwardly.
I don't think you're going to intimately meet for some time. Don't worry, Andy.
Yeah, hopefully it's not going to be for a while. Don't you worry.
Is there any way we could work out a deal about the little animals, like maybe earn some extra credits for them, or how does it all work?
He's trying to crypto the animals' lifetimes.
Alex really loves animals. And what kind of deal are you talking about? Like more time for you, less time for them, or?
No. Well, I'm hoping still the same time for me, but is because I want to be here to help the animals, right? But yeah, it just seems so unfair that they have to pay the price for things that we didn't even know we were doing to them.
Mm-hmm. I agree that it's unfair. I'm trying to think of something wise to say about the circle of life.
Just
Alex
break out
isn't-
into the circle of life.
yes, there we go.
The angel of death doesn't make decisions about death.
I would love for all of the cats in the world to live forever. But I don't get to decide that. That's more of nature, fate.
Above your
whatever.
pay grade. I understand.
Sure is. Yes. But I will care for the animals deeply when they move on.
And so then he might kind of tug you over and start to show you some interesting things he's been thinking about infusing into the yarn for the little sweaters for the injured animals that are like nanobots for healing, or like salves to put in the knitting stuff so that way I don't know, like if they have a burn or something. I know this is not how medicine.
Lover will, humor Andy for a little bit, but then be like, darling, I hate to cut your show and tell short. Is fascinating, but we have learned there's a gathering of the angels that we must get to. And unfortunately, some of us don't fly currently.
And I think that Moy would have been just like slowly walking around with Zipporah and kind of can probably smell the scent of like cars and motorcycles and the metal and the rubber and has been like lurking around. And so Andy will just bring up a little camera and says, "Oh, is that what your friend is seeking out?" Um, and
Always a gearhead.
So Andy's gonna grab a like 2 briefcases and basically start to hurry off in the direction that they're walking, and just kind of as he bumps into Moy and Zipporah, just like kind of pushes one of these little utility suitcases into each of their arms and like just asks them to follow him. And as he starts to go down that hallway, like the lights come on as he's walking through, and then he does like a configuration with his arms really quickly, and then this like the door opens into this like huge garage, just like full of basically like lots of like off-road capable vehicles, to get in close with nature.
I mean, do we want a team? Do we want a vehicle we all can ride in? Do we want just an off-roader for the two non-flying angels?
Maybe something for all of us to be in together. Bring the family back together.
Yeah.
So
I'll be hanging on Andy's shoulder while we're walking.
I'm picturing Wheels coming back in from the kitchen and seeing everyone leaving, just munching on some, I don't know, some sandwich or something that the butler had or whatever, with a lot of food for everybody.
I mean, I'm going to spend a token to let myself be loved and let Andy feel connected to me and me feel the connection with Andy.
Are there actual little animals in the house?
So if you asked Andy about that, like or actually above the vehicles, there's like a bunch of massive like big screen monitors that show all these. Basically, he's almost got like a mini zoo for recovery spaces for the animals. So it's basically a zoo of animals in knit outfits.
Alex gets really distracted and isn't even looking at the vehicles and is just looking at all the animals.
So I think Andy is very distracted by Lover, but as Wheels comes in, so Andy's probably got like an arm around and like another hand on like the front side of Lover's shoulder, like almost like sort of like wrapping himself around you, but not tightly, because he knows his time to be with you is not going to be very long, and just kind of soaking it in while you're here. But he will sort of turn over and look at Wheels and say, like, whatever is your pleasure. You seem like you have great taste.
Thanks. And just back to eating. It's good food.
It was Andy indicating the vehicles?
Huh?
Was Andy indicating the food or the vehicles?
Kind of making like a double entendre.
So both.
Like, you've great taste, like, so like choose whichever vehicles you want. So is Wheels gonna pontificate for a bit?
I think Wheels is gonna wander around the garage and look around and How about that one? And I think no longer we had a pickup truck before. I feel like we've got like, we want something that's off-roading, and I don't want to have one of my little SUVs. I feel like we got like a big Jeep kind of vehicle that's like, but it's like not one of the, maybe we do want a soft top one. So
What about like an old school like Land Rover before they became suburban soccer mom vehicles?
Ooh,
Like
I
a
like
real
that.
Land Rover?
Yeah, I like that. I like
But it's
that.
has a diesel engine, it has like a veggie diesel, or it has some new engine put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of my family used to have a GM Suburban before before it got bought out, and all metal vehicle, nice and with a diesel engine and all of that. So yeah, I like that old Land Rover. That one. And Wheels is gonna hop behind the wheels after dumping the food in the back.
So it will have a modification. I think some of them, it looks like, have like a soft top on back.
That way we could have some like wind in our hair or fly out the back.
So as you run up to it, and he's like, "Oh, excellent choice," and sort of like presses a button on it. He's got like a multi-purpose remote kind of keychain, and a little thing pops up on the right next to the Land Rover, and you can basically like Borderlands, and you can change the colors and modify and add whatever you want to your Land Rover.
Sometimes I love humans and the technology they've created.
So we have two gearheads in the group.
Mm-hmm. I just like the pretty colors.
So I'll give you a moment, both as yourself, to kind of think about what you want to add, and I'll sort of fill that space momentarily with Andy goes over to Moisha and Zipporah and like opens up the cases he handed to them, and basically they're these like backpacks that they get that sort of when they tap the piece on the front on the center, it comes out with a protective layer over the parts of their wings that are still there, and then fills out the rest of their wings so they can fly again. And then you just like clap once to turn it on, clap twice to turn your wings off. So
I'll say to everybody else, why don't you all get everything ready and we'll leave in the morning. And I walk Andy off.
Andy likes that idea. Sexual or otherwise, he's just happy to have more time with Lover before he has to stay farewell. Basically, he's gonna guess that like anywhere you all are going, that's the Angel Gathering is not a place that really he's supposed to take up space. So we like spend the night and
Yeah. Okay.
I figured we got a late start because we had been partying.
Mm-hmm.
Alex also just wants to spend time with the animals and does that.
That's a good call.
It's at some point I'll probably suggest to Wheels or Moy that they check for tracking devices in the truck.
I think that's probably definitely on Zipporah's mind, but Moy will keep her from blowing anything up.
Shortly after we leave, we should check for, because we don't know. everything here is on camera.
Yeah, yeah. I think Wheels is gonna tell Zipporah, like, don't blow this one up. Just let's try to not blow this one up.
She just gives you a dirty look.
Morning comes.
Mm-hmm.
See, we have yeah, okay. Just looking at looking at time. We have around another hour or so before we get to break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Andy serves an amazing brunch for all of you before you leave. And then walks you to the garage. And, the other side of the garage like opens up into, probably the secret entrance to the back cave looking kind of thing.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, love. We'll see you again sometime.
He blushes. I certainly hope so. And sort of like starts to get all like teary-eyed, and because he's nervous about putting that on you, just like goes around and like quickly but very intensely hugs like each of the other, so like Alex and Wheels. And
I'll wipe his tear off with my thumb and just cradle in my fist as I get into the vehicle.
Yeah. I think Zipporah and Moy have just like climb in the very back and are just kind of snuggled up and maybe even trying to catch a little bit of extra sleep.
I have armor now as we drive away. Anyone else says it? All right. On the road again.
We are on the road again.
Who's driving?
Wheels is driving.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I figured, but
Wheels is driving. I feel like with all those sad goodbyes, Wheels just kind of like looking forward, waves to Andy behind, and just taking off.
I'm guessing I took the back seat, the second seat all for myself, stretched out. Two of you in the way
just
back.
Just like in the pickup truck, yeah.
Right, and that leaves Alex in the front seat riding shotgun.
Yeah.
Unless you try and crowd in back with me.
I
wouldn't.
Yeah. I just kind of hop in the front seat because I also don't want Wheels to be alone.
Oh, that's so nice. I appreciate friends who don't make me be the chauffeur, so Wheels appreciates friends who don't make them be the chauffeur. Well, I guess we're going to back to the where all the angels are.
Wonder why we're gathering.
I don't know. Seems kind of dangerous with all the way some people feel about us.
I mean, safety in numbers and all, but leaving. I mean, I suppose not everyone's gathering, you think?
Well, if we didn't know. Don't think everyone knows.
True. But we knew to go there.
The river's pretty big. I don't know how we're going to know where to go.
Let's head towards the headwaters.
Sounds like a plan. And
the source, so to speak.
Yeah. And Wheels heads us off in that direction.
The heavenly host loves such symbolism.
Much like the wheels, me being the wheels for our trip.
Yep.
Um, and so Moya seeming so much more lighthearted and not really worried too much about focusing about where we're going. And so as we're like exiting out the area that was kind of secretly hidden that leads to Andy's garage, you hear him or them just kind of quietly singing secret tunnel, secret tunnel.
I wonder why you had to put a secret tunnel on there. Now I know.
But so I think Mo's gonna be like, does it really matter why we're getting together?
I was just curious.
Mm-hmm. If it is some sort of massive trap for a whole bunch of angels, then I mean, we've gotten this far, right?
I don't think it's a trap. We felt it in our bones to go there.
Mm. Where do you think the feelings came from?
I don't know. We just went black on Twitch.
As sound should still be good. I'm going to fix it again. I thought I fixed this problem.
It seems to be on some sort of timer almost.
It didn't happen on Friday, so
Right,
we
didn't.
we can keep.
We'll keep going.
It's so dark in here. Do you think we should open the top up?
Oh, that would be funny. We can keep talking. I think I can fix this. I think I can.
I think I can. Well,
Alex, have you ever been on a road trip like this before? Now that you remember a little bit more than before?
Yeah, well, kind of. So I'm gonna use a token and tell someone something you've never told anyone.
Mm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
you spend a token to do that. Cool.
Yeah, yep, it's one of my strong moves. So I'm going to take it away before I forget. Okay. So death is like at the end of a lot of travels. And I think our journeys always bring us to where we're supposed to be. And throughout my existence, I've always just ended up where I'm supposed to be. And that's how I feel now. But so I'm trying to think of how to say this.
Take your time, kiddo.
Yeah.
Can I still call you kiddo?
Absolutely. You can call me kiddo if you would like. I like the mentor type of relationship we had going. So, I actually still hold my memories of my human family. And one time we all went on a vacation, and I just had the thought, like,
I feel like maybe I should apologize. Not that I should apologize, but I don't know. Family road trips can be tough sometimes.
Yeah. It was really tough. Yeah, yep. Parents didn't really agree on certain things, and there seemed to be like a lot of fighting. But one time we got lost. I was not navigating. I was in the back seat listening to AFI. Not my problem.
That's the best way to handle a problem.
That's right. And we ended up, so I don't know anything about California, so I'm just gonna make this up because apparently I live in California.
Do it.
We ended up like there were a lot of big trees, and we found like this really cool waterfall like in the middle of nowhere. And that was like the one time my dad, I don't know, like he just felt like my dad. And we all just reflected on the family and ended up laughing. And I think that's like probably the best memory I had. And it felt like traveling, bringing us to somewhere I needed to be. And this feels a little bit like that. Like I'm with family traveling to somewhere I need to be.
Hey, maybe that's why our little pool party was where you got your wings back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I never had a family. I mean, in the way that humans have families. How about you guys?
No.
I don't remember a lot of my childhood, but I feel like family is something that's kind of I drift away from and then I drift back to them.
Mm.
Kind of like you did with us.
What do you mean?
Well, literally, you were gone and then you came back. No judgment.
True, yeah.
Lovers speaking for themselves, but I guess no judgment.
You guys have all like had human lives. I've never had a human life, despite living here for a long time.
Do you wish you did have a human life?
I don't know. They're such fun and sad and happy. I don't have any complaints about my existence.
Some ways
It
it
always-
sounds like it's not that different. Sad, fun, happy. That sounds like you, lover.
I guess.
There's something you're FOMOing about?
Something what?
You're having FOMO about? You're missing out?
More curiosity. You know, I don't have to eat. Right. I've never really been hungry for food.
Not exactly something that I think is necessary to replicate.
I've never had that kind of a lot of those human experiences. It would just be could be fun, but not really sad about it.
Do you think it makes it harder for you to connect to the more human types?
Oh, I connect just well, Moy. Just fine. No
I
problem.
know, but
there.
like
Gives you a little chuck in the shoulder.
I know. Just like, I don't know, feeling like you can truly understand where they're coming from.
I don't know.
Sometimes I think I wonder, you know, I haven't followed the path that some people have, and it just sometimes makes it hard to understand how they got so far in that direction.
Of course, you haven't followed the path others have, you big dolt. Nobody follows anyone else's path.
I know, but your path doesn't seem that terribly far from mine. So I feel like I can kind of I can see where you're coming from and I can see where you might be going. But you know, the even being in the gang, I I I can't understand how you can't want to get out at a certain point.
Right. So, Alex, you've had family. Moy, you've had the gang as a family. Have you ever had any chosen family wheels or anything? Who have you connected to?
Well, I feel like you all are family. We've been stuck in this car for, well, not this car. We've been stuck together for a while, driven or flown across this country, watched each other grow. I mean, there's been other groups like this, small chosen family, yeah. I kind of just drift.
I mean, Wheels, you and I are like brothers almost. You need someone to give you a whole bunch of shit every once in a while.
Brothers that used to date. Relationships can change, it's all good.
See, it's good that I don't have those kind of complications.
It's true, lover.
Now we're like brothers.
Now we're like brothers. It's true.
Or siblings.
Siblings.
Yeah.
I guess that's what a brother is.
You know, I didn't have any siblings when I was human. But all of the siblings I knew, they had someone who understood them in a way that a lot of people couldn't because they experienced the same stuff, just from a different perspective.
I think the talk of siblings, not quite enough for other, but Wheels is gonna start checking out some, turn the volume up a little bit, not enough to drown everyone out yet. And you feel the Land Rover going a little faster.
I mean, I think a lot of the siblings that I know, it's interesting how people can kind of go through such a similar experience together and also not really have an understanding. So I don't know.
Just going to call it a sadder love song comes on the radio, comes on your music choice.
Mm-hmm.
What would be a good one? Well, this would be interesting given this Born in the USA. It's the Republican Reagan wanted to make it a theme song for the country because he didn't actually listen to the lyrics about dying siblings and the degeneration of America. Are you familiar with the lyrics? Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, most of them. But yeah, I think
brother who dies in Vietnam,
mm-hmm.
Kind of stuff.
I think with that, Wheels slams on the brakes. And just kind of jumps out of the car for like, no explanation, nothing, and just kind of starts pacing in
I
front
ended
of
up in the
you a
front.
little
I ended
bit.
up in the front seat because I wasn't buckled. I imagine I was leaning over like this, and
Boom.
because it has the old bench seat in the front and second row too. Not no bucket seats.
Mm-hmm.
And um,
Uh, uh,
Uh,
did you turn the car off or did you leave it running?
it's running. It's parked though.
Okay. But is the music still going, or did you turn that off?
No, the music's still going. Wheels is not fully. Yeah. So the music's still going.
Alex kind of looks around and is like, does one of us want to go check on Wheels?
I mean, there's weird feelings around love and not love. You feeling? That's all. I don't know.
Um, so
I will step out of the truck, but I'm not going to go. I'm not going to approach Wheels.
I think that I forget. Can I like open the back out as a door,
If it's a cloth, well,
or if it's a cloth or removable top, maybe
you could
I don't
somehow
know.
get
Maybe
out
I
of
can
there.
pull that back, and I'm not gonna admit how much I enjoy the excuse to do so, but I'm gonna basically like as I do that stand up and like tap the little chest plate, and it kind of like lifts me up enough that it's super easy for me to kind of do that and um, land in like a super cool poser fashion next to Wheels. And so when I land next to you, like what is your state of being?
Wheels doesn't even register that you're there and is just kind of pacing around muttering to himself like, what is going on? What does it even mean? When did that happen? Like, all these little mutterances questioning themselves.
Maybe I'll take Alex and we'll go lower the tailgate because you're winding around by the back of the truck and then sit on the tailgate. Just kind of like we're here.
Mm-hmm.
And animals are kind of like attracted to death.
I love it.
And so there's like some birds landing around, and a deer kind of walks out, and Alex just pets it.
Is there anything you think that you're muttering that I like recognize at all?
Um, I don't. I mean, this is the first time you've seen Wheels quite like.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm kind of like I'm keeping an eye on you. I'm trying to listen in, but I don't exactly know if approaching you is going to be.
You might end up with a fist to the face.
I mean, not that that's an unfamiliar thing between the two of us, but I think Moy really likes to push your buttons at times.
And you're trying to show that you're not.
But well, I think it's more of the like New Yorker style of love, where everybody will be really harsh and honest, but the second you need help,
Yeah.
they're actually there.
I'll ask Alex, is this a love or a death issue?
Kind of feels like love.
I think you're right.
I love the imagery of the two of you. This is love or death? No, it's your problem. No, it's your problem.
I just needed the confirmation.
Yeah.
I think I might look over towards Love and Death and just kind of give them like I don't know what to do.
I'll hop off the tailgate. I'm gonna walk up. Trying to figure which of my strong moves to use. Either show their pain will pass or help them forget about the world for a moment. Maybe help you forget about the world will help you clear your mind about what's going on. Forget about everything else that's going on, the gathering of the angels, the fascism, everything, just to get to the heart of when did that happen? What's going on with me? Muttering stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk up to you, kind of doing a little bit of that angel of love glow. Put a hand on your shoulder.
I think Wheels like stops pacing, like stiffens and then relaxes, but stops pacing and is just like seems kind of. I don't know what that was, lover.
Not in a huge way, but in a kind of like my other arm comes down, and in a way that is like invitation for a hug.
Yeah, and I think Wheels. Let's see. Do I have a move that actually would lean into this? I mean, I do. Yeah, I'm not gonna push through and stop some. At least now going to lean into the hug, and I think Wheels starts crying.
It's a regular move. Take action, leaving yourself vulnerable.
Yeah, yeah. I love how there's at least one of those in this game that you can use for like anything. Because some belongings outside belonging games, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Let the love come in.
And I think I'm also going to use one of my regular moves, which is to find a temporary solution. And I think that I appreciate that Lover has done something to seemingly calm Wheels. Although I know that, that the moment of calm is not going to resolve whatever the heck was going on before. But I'll kind of go over and enjoy getting to use my fancy wings, prosthetic wings, to also join the hug. And I'm gonna kind of head nod to Zipporah and Alex that like kind of like join the group hug.
Alex is absolutely open to joining the hug. But with Alex comes like some hummingbirds flying around.
Mr.
us.
Bluebird on my shoulder.
We got a big old group hug with the animals too.
Let the love in. Remember. Remember.
Yeah. Wheels, I'm going to use a strong move and stop and process what happened. One of the first, like, actually, like, intelligent, like, something that someone can understand is Wheels is like, I think I had a brother? Have a brother? I just, the song came on and I had a flash of us fighting, and I don't know if I have all of it together right now, but I think that losing him was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me in thousands of years of existence. I don't know what it means that it's coming back now.
That's okay. I don't, yeah, I don't know. Love is complicated. Yeah.
You make it seem so easy, lover.
Remember me stretched on the seat half the time. Yeah, love is a hot mess.
I feel like we need to clip that line. Love is a hot mess. I don't know if I haven't thought about him, and I think things are slowly starting to come back to it. I haven't thought about him in over 1,000 years. I'm tired.
Boy, you want to drive?
Yeah,
When we're ready.
I got that. And at the same time, Moy's starting to look a little bit confused himself, and but does not at all want to bring attention on himself, but is having some like so, like there's something about losing a brother I once thought I had that just like makes them feel especially sad. And so I think Moy's gonna do sort of like, I guess as we all start to kind of relax out of the hug, I'm just gonna kind of rush in for a moment with the wings retracted, and just kind of give like a really tight hug with the like Jude Bro like double tap, and then just sort of walk off with Zipporah, and you know, I'm gonna take care of the truck and turn the music off, and just adjust the seat and whatnot while you all take a minute. Yeah.
Eventually, I'm just gonna kind of lead Wheels into the back seat, where Wheels can kind of collapse into a heap of emotional, laundry.
Be a hot mess in the back, yeah.
Yeah. And do some caretaking, just quiet caretaking, while you heap yourself. I'm trying to think of this.
I think Zipporah remembers more than I do, but isn't gonna really say anything about Moy's stuff, but is also gonna feel super empathetic and check the very back of the truck for like a a blanket and put that over you guys in the back seat before slamming that like back end of the truck shut.
Alex bids farewell to the animals, kind of pets the deer, and the deer wanders off and gets into like there's a middle bench seat where
There's a middle seat and a way back.
yeah. So I just kind of climb into the middle. And just being present, like I'm trying to look for if there are any needs for talking or just quiet.
I think I'm gonna give a playlist to support like an iPod or whatever equivalent thing that we have. That's just instrumental music.
No,
No
words.
So as she settles back into the front seat, she'll get that set up. And I think that there will be a as she cries as she gets into the front seat, there will be a little like angry chitter just outside the door before she closes it, and she'll look down and there's like a little chipmunk and it looks very upset and it keeps putting its arms up like this even though they're super short, so it's only kind of like this. And so sort of like really confused, Zipporah will bend down and sort of put a hand out, and the chipmunk will immediately, like so frustratedly, like impatient, jump on her hand and proceed to very painfully, because of the tiny little claws, crawl up her arm and then like leap into the back seat at Alex.
Oh, hey there, little dude. Alex like holds their hands out. What do you need, Chippy?
And so the chipmunk will give you like a nuzzle of acknowledgement and then chitter at you a bunch and then sort of gesture towards the back seat.
So Alex like gives it a little nuzzle scratch and then kind of puts it in the back, kind of looking at Wheels like, are you okay with this?
Wheels is just gonna look oh, hi to the chipmunk and just kind of wave, and is totally fine with the chipmunk coming back there.
So I think the chipmunk is gonna like jump on to the back of the middle seat and kind of run around and then sort of check in with Lover, kind of like may I like, and then it'll just sort of hop into Wheels's hands and sort of stay there in case, like, if your hands are feeling a little stable, letting the weight kind of sit in your hands to sort of steady your hands together.
Mm-hmm.
And then very gently climb up the blanket instead of the clothing that you're wearing, and sort of just basically be there to be a living tissue if you need.
Poor chipmunk.
It snuggles in.
Yeah, exactly.
For your eyes, it might be a little upset if you try to blow your nose into it.
Right, back on the road, right?
Back on the road. I feel like I just pulled a chipmunk worth of fur off the cat in my lap, but
So there you go. You have your chipmunk.
I have a chipmunk.
Courtesy of death.
Courtesy of death.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Imagine we drive for a while with not much conversation, just listening to the instrumental music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining Kronos Quartet, Pieces of Africa. That's because first one that comes to mind. But who knows? It's a little early. I was just thinking.
We usually break in the next, sometime in the next 20-ish minutes. Yeah.
Why don't we break now?
We can break now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come back 5 before the hour.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then we will see everyone where we will get back on the road with our chipmunk friend.
15.
In 15. All right. We're back. Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
Yada yada yada.
Oh, we're on the road.
Road to the end.
I feel like we're being pulled in a certain slightly northerly path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Driving along to instrumental music.
I'm down to 1 token. I spent a couple this game. Actually, I was going to ask a question. I'm going to take a vulnerable move question. Player asking to about wheels.
Mm-hmm.
For you to answer as a player, I guess. What do I mean to you? As I'm sitting there, your head in my lap and I'm comforting you. Remember, we kissed once, but only once.
Only the ones.
We established that way back when.
I think you mean unconditional love, right? Moy's used to be a different kind of love, is more of a brotherly love now, but pushes Wheels so much, and you're just there, and I feel like Wheels is happy to not have you want something from him. Because Wheels is historically, everybody's wanted something from him.
And there's no baggage around that one kiss. There's not
no
regret or wishing we do it again. It's just what was.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm not asking anything from you, and that's really wonderful to you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, couldn't love be like that all the time?
Wouldn't it be the perfect world? We'd all have to live in some kind of vacuum, though.
Thank you. I have 2 tokens now.
Had to get some tokens somehow.
I'm imagining as we drive, maybe. Oh wait, is that an angel way off in the distance? Maybe flying. get occasional sightings of or feelings of other angels being nearby.
Are we gonna be the laughing stock of the angels like rolling up in a car?
I don't think so. Probably some walking there.
Could be. Could be.
Remember, a lot of us have lived here for a long time.
That's true. And not gone back.
And from the front seat, Moy is of course going to be like, and not all of us have always had our wings or a way to grow them back.
Oh, I wonder if some of the ones who don't come down to Earth very often are going to be here.
Hmm.
Kind of like a family reunion, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You think we'll get T-shirts?
Family reunion. Do you think he's gonna be there?
That would be a bit of a feat to move heaven and earth, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. He didn't. Last I talked to him, he wouldn't come near this with a 20 million foot pole.
I haven't heard anything of or from him in quite some time.
Well, you probably know more than I do at this point.
I didn't hold it for you out of any sort of malice or anything. You had to come to it yourself.
I get that, lover. I probably wouldn't have wanted to know anyway.
I do know that he's still in existence. He hasn't died.
Hope never dies.
That's right.
Oh, I'm cheesy sometimes. Not sure if that's Lover or Menachem. So.
Hope never dies.
Bleed going on. That's great.
Well, as far as the world is concerned now, he might as well be dead.
Loss can, in other ways, can certainly feel that way.
But I suppose that's true of any of us, right? Some people don't feel love even though lover is right here in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't fear death, but maybe they should. And I give you a little shoulder chuck. My little Femi shoulder chuck. We pick up another vehicle. Comes in from another road and joins us heading in the same direction.
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a let's go. It's a Lamborghini.
Oh, we're just going high class with all these cars.
Moy is gonna look over the Lamborghini and like internally appreciate it and like kind of give them like a nice ride look and just look over to Zipporah and be like, what a bunch of schmucks. And
Wait. Jump out of the car. And fly over to Lamborghini.
Like while the car is moving?
Oh, yeah. Just
What
jump
is
on
it
the
with
top.
us and jumping out of moving vehicles?
It's not something to fear so much when you've got a built-in parachute.
You stereotype, you sex, you angel of sex driving a Lamborghini. Ha! And I land on top of it, and in that cool pose of how you land on top of a moving vehicle.
Mhm.
The one in all the movies.
I'm just gonna roll I mean, you won't see it because it's behind my sunglasses, but I'm just gonna be rolling my eyes. Do you remember them, Death?
All I can think about is love. Like, must want to die because on top of the car. Okay, jumping out of a moving vehicle. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, have you heard of Freud? Love, like sex, death. We're like totally
Freud
right.
came up in both our conversations
Oh, no.
this week. I love it.
Got one or the other, right?
Imagine angel sightings are now going to pick up.
And when you mentioned Freud, I'm gonna say, sometimes a motorcycle purring between your legs is just a motorcycle purring between your legs.
And a house is just a house, not a womb.
Sometimes a house is just a house.
But one thing I can tell
You have
you
a womb
about those dream interpretation books, sex in a dream is never about sex.
Yeah.
I used to have a dream where my teeth fell out, but I could never remember what it was about.
We have things like angels riding rhinoceros showing up, that kind of stuff.
Sure, we can have all kinds of weird stuff around here. Like,
Yeah.
Where I guess we can finally be ourselves. And I'm just like, while the vehicle is moving, I'm gonna unclip the top so that it rolls back. We get to feel the wind through my luscious hair and my beard.
I bet we're also seeing flashes of light for the ones from above coming
Porting
down. In, yeah.
So I was looking around, just looking at all the different things happening in the angels, and I spot one, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the angel of birth, my best friend. Hey, Storky.
I love it.
Yeah, the angel of birth probably does have stork wings, huh? Well, sex and love are off. The vehicle stopped over there.
Maybe I'll pull in right next to Sex and Love, but
no. We were just driving and kind of peeled away and stopped.
Oh, and then you stop, and everybody else is still going for. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We have a lot to talk about.
I guess we'll be seeing them later.
We're kind of a department, part of a department.
Departmental meeting.
Yeah. Read that. Bring innuendo as you will, according to your clean and dirty minds. I don't like that analogy, clean and dirty. Let your
clean and creative.
Let your ego and superego interpret that as they will.
Yeah.
Since we brought up Freud.
Yeah.
and I think that Moisha is been thinking about a lot of stuff alongside the instrumental music while we've all been cruising along. And I want to do a vulnerable move, and I'm gonna fail passing a tale as truth. Although I don't want it to be a long thing. I just want it to be, I just about forgotten a brother I once had, and it takes a little bit of convincing, but eventually they all come around.
Do they though?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't they? They're your sibling.
An angel materializes in the back seat, or tingle, 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 tingle.
Wheels kind of jumps like, I'm not gonna. It's been so long since I've been around all of you. Like, what? I'm not gonna get used to that.
We forget. Sorry, but we're very glad you're here.
And I think that Moisha, was seeing them, but also get startled, and so the car probably like swerved a little bit, and Moy's got like a switchblade knife that's throwable, and has it and like just like zings it, but it's like a warning shot. And Zipporah had like leaned over to grab the wheel, keep things going, and then
Angel ignores your knife going past its head.
Moy, keep it together. Wheels is gonna turn to this new angel. Are you part of the welcoming committee?
Yeah. We're just camped about a little ways up that way. You follow everybody, you'll get there.
I hope so. Everybody seems to be going the same place. What is going on? We didn't get the memo. No, not to a couple days ago that this is where we needed to be.
It's not entirely clear, but there's probably going to be some clarity as we all gather starting this evening. Find your way to the main fire. But again, we're really glad you're here. Lingers a little bit on Wheels.
Okay.
Maybe
okay.
You're not sure if it's just because they're sitting next to you or if they are imparting meaning in that.
Just a little bit like, okay. We're glad to be here too.
Oh, Death, so good to see you up and about.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to try to find Storky again.
Oh, did you jump out or were you just yelling? Were you yelling? I forget.
I'm still in the vehicle.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just called.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting that the Angel of Death is a very cautious individual.
Look, I learned a lot of lessons.
If you saw how people died, you be careful too. Shut up.
True.
Reminds me of the show 1001 ways, like unusual ways to die or whatever. Stupid ways to die.
Mm-hmm.
People are dumb.
Any questions? Any more questions?
I think I asked all the questions I had. Just why are we here? But like you said, that's
because we need to be.
Yeah, that's
That's
how
all
these
I know.
things go.
Can you pass me my knife back? That's my question.
The angel
Moy.
kind of acts like you didn't ask them.
Freaking angels and their drama.
You're an angel too, and if I remember, even in the last couple weeks, you've had a lot of drama.
If the halo fits, wear it.
Exactly.
Oh, Moy.
You know, as far as I know, I'm not an angel of. You angels of always think that it's you're a little bit over the rest of us.
I never said I was an angel of. I'm a malach, a messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
I didn't shoot you. I threw a knife at you.
You brought a knife to a gunfight.
You brought a
I
knife.
thought it
to
wasn't
a
supposed to be a gunfight.
You brought a knife to a cosmic energy fight. But we're not going to fight.
Moy, what are you so upset about? Have any of us angels of that you've been hanging around with tried to tell you you're less than?
Not you all. You're the better one.
Okay.
You all are more down to earth.
But
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, if it makes you feel better, which I don't understand these feelings human angels have always, but I am just a glorified gopher.
Hey, Death, do you know any glorified gophers?
So the chipmunk kind of.
Gophers are actually really friendly. I don't know what people are talking about.
I'm not complaining. But more, I have little of that free will that you so much have enjoyed.
Enjoyed is an interesting term.
Again, not jealous.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all.
I suppose so. I mean, Death, you got any questions before Gopher?
Glorified gopher.
Glorified.
So just find our way to the, did you say the main
The main fire.
fire? Okay, all right. We would probably just follow people and get there.
You can't get lost from here.
All right.
I'm sure we see like a whole bunch of light ahead of us, even if
Yeah, there's light. There's vehicles driving across. Where are we? We're somewhere in Iowa, southern Minnesota, but it's more plains right now. Yeah, the woods have cleared out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of open fields.
More takes like a extra pair of like clip-on aviator sunglasses because it's so bright.
So clip-ons over your sunglasses.
Yeah. You know, that heavenly glow is just a bit much sometimes.
Okay.
Hey, Death, do you think Chippy could handle bringing my knife back? It means a lot to me.
It's just in the back seat. You can.
Well, I would rather Chippy not carry a knife, but I'll get it for you. So I reach back and grab it, and I'm just kind of like, oh, look, I've seen what these things have done to people. And I give it back.
You know, just trying to.
Wait, I'm remembering another memory, a human memory of when I was with you and you took my cigarettes.
And
Give me back that knife.
Too late.
Well, we'll see.
You're gonna have to take it from me.
Watch me.
Oh.
Lepora kind of rolls her eyes.
Wheels also rolls his eyes.
Look,
Is-
y'all
is-
want to fight with death? I'm here.
I love this confidence.
I'm not afraid of you.
No, so there's an encampment up ahead. There's some luxury RVs, a bunch of tents, some temporary, some temporary structures that look like they're pretty, like little hotels.
Also, some like
Hmm.
clouds have settled around and are places where some angels are resting.
Let's say there's a amphitheater, like a sports stadium, right? That everyone's actually inside of, is where people are camped around it, and then inside is, where the meetings are happening. It's an abandoned sports stadium.
So, Moya's gonna find like a little area where they can set up camp next to the Land Rover, and Zipporah is gonna accidentally kind of have like one of those, what does this button do? And the side of the Land Rover is gonna pop open, and basically like a little basically a little like almost like fabric and like aluminum framed tent comes out, but it's like more like a cabin, and it's even like printed on the outside, like and then it has the name of like whatever Andy's company name was. Cozies for Critters.
Cozies for critters.
I was going to say there are temporary accommodations, but that sounds fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can have a couple spots to rest up.
A few hours later, a Lamborghini rolls up. The wing door opens up and Lover steps out.
You look a little like you might have been up to something.
I'm never up to something. I'm always doing my job.
Up to someone.
We had
It
we
was
had a
work
departmental meeting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were a lot of important things, important logistics for you to iron out.
Look, it didn't involve the little deaths. So.
I suppose you feel all right whenever you might be a little left out. Is that what you're saying, kid?
I'm
Not
French.
quite. Le petit more.
Oui.
Oh.
That's part of my work.
Yes.
I'm not used to the kiddo going straight to the grown-up thoughts.
Sorry, I had a response, but I guess I'm all grown up.
Oh, you're older than death. You can't be. Oh, well, look at all the angels.
There's so many of us.
It's kind of a sight for sore eyes. It's been kind of a feel like maybe for once I can take this little thing and I pull out the little pocket knife, and might not be necessary for a little while. And I'm gonna toss it over to Death, to Alex.
There's only a fraction of us here, right? Because each human has 11,000 angels. Every blade of grass, Reb Steinsaltz wrote, he was a wise guy, has an angel whispering to it, grow, grow. So there's only a fraction of us here. But yes, so many at once. Oh, I love it.
It's good to see you being even more of yourself, Lover.
I'm actually going to glow and twirl and sparkle up into the air and spin, yelling, I love it. Hello, family. Making it all about me.
Mm-hmm.
Love is here.
I just realized I didn't update my points when I failed to pass.
I just find our token in case we need any, need some for the big denouement.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're in French now. Is denouement finale? I guess finale be finale.
Yeah, well, denouement is usually after.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the climax down.
Well, Lover's already reached the climax, so.
Our story has not.
we're in Lover's denouement.
I have a lot of those.
Have we all been in Lover's denouement?
So we're supposed to head to the fire in the stadium later tonight, right?
That's what the angel that popped into the car, into the Land Rover told us. Yeah.
Tailgate until then?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it might be nice. Things usually get different when we angels gather like this, so we should. It's just us right now. Let's enjoy that.
And I'm sure if anyone feels like walking around, and I'm sure others will might bump into us. I'm curious to see what fraction of us made it.
We the group next to us, they all take out harps and start playing for 12 seconds, and they all stop and laugh.
So cliche.
How ridiculous this is, When Mark Twain wrote Letters from Earth, and then they talked about how human had this conception of heaven where they go and they play harp all the time, and no living human wants to do that.
And to sort of like when they all pull out their harps and start playing, I start trying to get my knife back from Alex. When they stop, I'm okay.
I've kind of. Does it fold, or is it always having a blade?
It folds. It folds like a pocket knife.
Oh, thank goodness, because I've put it in my pants. He ain't gonna get this now.
Putting it in your pants doesn't mean it's off limits unless you say so.
Boundaries.
Or I guess unless you give me permission.
I am not given permission.
So thoughtful, Moy.
But if you'd like to tell me why,
modern Zen.
If you do have a good reason for a knife, I mean, I'm open to giving it back, but
I don't think that um, going after some angels doing my good work over here on the harps is a reason for you to get the knife back, Moy.
I thought you had good taste, Wheels.
I thought it was funny. It was ironic.
They manifest electric guitars and drum kits, you know, and
Now that's more my style.
little horn section.
I feel like Wheels goes over and starts playing, pulls out his drumsticks and starts playing on the drums with them.
There's a little electricity in the crowd when you do that. The hand, you know, it's like, ooh, yeah, and the music kind of goes up a notch.
Zipporah and Moisha start to kind of encourage a couple of other angels. Maybe also Alex, if seem up to it, to like starting a little bit of a friendly mosh pit.
But you get takers.
yeah. Now everybody follow mosh etiquette, but like let's have fun.
As not Moy, I do have to say I always wanted to be part of a mosh pit, but I was always too short to participate safely.
Same. I always had to have like someone like right there, and I could not. Like I went to so many shows. It's like walk around in a circle.
I could never make it to the mosh pit. I always ended up stuck in the crowd right outside where it's wall-to-wall people, and I was standing, but my feet were not touching the ground.
Ow.
I'm big enough that I was relatively okay in mosh pits, unless it was like all the spikes on the leather and stuff. Those kinds I didn't get to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get bloody.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah.
It's a big celebration.
So we basically have like Lover is like super joyous and like disco balling almost. Like this. We got Wheels really
jamming on the
Jamming.
drums.
where
I think you haven't seen Wheels so light ever.
Like your angel self is shining through. Yeah.
So I think I might step out of the mosh pit and just kind of, yeah. Does Alex stay in the mosh pit or step out with me?
Alex is really caught up in moshing.
Awesome. I love it. And kind of lean over to Z and be like, I always kind of hope Wheels would find a way to, I don't know, feel a little bit less angsty all the time. And it's just, I guess you can't push it. You can't force it. And,
you notice a presence behind you. Moy.
Yeah. Does the presence
There's
Is
someone standing close to you who wasn't there 10 seconds ago.
Yeah. I think I'll startle and I'll go to grab my pocket knife and realize I do not have it, and I'm probably gonna end up like turning around and also looking up, I would imagine.
There's an angel.
Mhm.
Hand was out where your wings would have been a moment before. You're such a delicate, tragic beauty, looking still at your wings.
I don't need to be your pity party.
No. Oh, yes, you've been here a long time. Have you ever wanted them back? Do you yearn for them?
I mean, sure, it would be a little bit more convenient, but I've, found my way to some solutions. I don't know that what are you getting at?
It's up to you.
What? Like what are you, the angel of missing wings? Like,
I don't think there's one of us of that.
Wingstop sure could have used you.
Should you desire, this would be the place where you might be able to get them back.
I'm gonna look back over at Zipporah.
You too. Looking at Zipporah. You too. Right, Zipporah's wings are damaged?
Yeah.
You too.
I don't know. There are definitely days that I miss it, but there's something about.
You are not less without them. But if you have wanted them,
I don't think it's something I'm ready for.
understood. But I know that those who are living in the earth often forget some of these things.
I just don't know. It's I don't know. I don't think it's something that's always been necessary to who I am.
Of course. The angel smiles, nods its head, and starts to turn to walk away.
And,
An invitation for you to say more or not to say more.
I think that as the angel walks away, I think Moy's gonna kind of have a momentary panic of like, did I make the right choice? Was that my chance? Is this place my chance for that? But
seems like the words in between the notes you hear, the choice is always yours.
I kind of think that Moy's reflection is just like, we've it almost seems like it would be too easy, and that basically now both Moy and Zipporah are in the same boat, and I don't know. It doesn't feel like that's the what they need to wrap up their story.
It strikes you as more of curiosity and sincerity, not like you should have your wings.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it certainly would, I think, in looking around at all the other angels, that so many of them have their unique and full-fledged wings, that there's a sense of Not that there's judgment, but you know, there's always that moment you wonder if you're
Yeah.
a little out of place.
There's a
I-
number that don't have wings. Go ahead.
I can't point out as as the character there, but Moy and Z have unique wings in and of themselves because of this the suit
Oh, the device.
and the device.
And I think that feels a little bit. It feels like it gives them back the capacity that they missed without seeming like it covers up what is there. To regrow wings or grow new wings or something would, I think, feel too much like covering up part of something that's their identity now.
The day wears on, the afternoon starts to move towards evening. Groups start heading towards the stadium. Any more reflections or anything to do before we get there? Seeing we have about almost 50 minutes of playtime ish, 50 to an hour of playtime, and then debriefing.
I think I'm
That's it.
good. I think that I don't know if going into the stadium is meant to be like a big part of, well, like I'm expecting a fair amount of stuff to happen once we enter into the stadium. So
Yeah.
It's where the fire is.
Yeah. Big old bonfire.
Even a couple trees have grown up in the stadium, right? It's like it's been abandoned for a while.
Mm-hmm. Well, this
Yeah,
is
that's
it. Let's-
Moy's gonna grab some marshmallow sticks just in case.
I imagine as we go in, there's some milling about and then some elaborate ritual, right, of welcome and convening that we all seem to have a sense of in our gut. And there's like I said, there's a large fire on a platform. There's probably thousands of us there.
And I don't know why, but I'm gonna feel compelled to like to, in order to feel more connected to the fire, I'm gonna take at least one of my, it won't seem like a lot, but I'm gonna take one of the s'more sticks I found and put it into the fire.
Feels good.
Just kind of have my, I mean, I've been close enough to Disney pyrotechnics that I know it's going to be
warm.
Yeah, very, very warm. But the warmth feels good. Doesn't feel, it feels like a warm hug. And I might also I'm gonna realize I have something in one of my other pockets, and it's a little bag of powder, not that kind of powder. And I'm just gonna take some in my hand and just kind of like blow it into the fire, and the fire is gonna like change colors.
It's powdered milk. You ever throw powdered milk on a campfire?
No.
Oh, it flares up and does.
Oh, cool. So Alex had been kind of standing back, like blowing on their nails because they decided to paint them black and they were still drying. But then has an idea and pulls out the last of the secret cigarettes and a knife. Gives Moy a look and is like, we don't need these anymore, and tosses them into the fire.
Moy's gonna be a little bit flustered by that because even if I didn't use it again, I maybe wanted it for sentimental.
Oh, well, reaches in and pulls it out.
But
Wheels, how
Boy.
you doing? Go ahead.
I think Wheels is still you can still tell that Wheels is light, but is like wringing his hands, and there's some nervousness and energy there. Unsure of what's going on.
Feels like a lot of people are greeting you. A lot of the angels are
Exactly,
greeting
just
you.
like this feels weird. Yeah.
You don't know if they're just being friendly or if it's more than anybody else, but you really feel the greeting and the greetings and attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just did any of you notice people keep looking at me and talking to me?
Everybody's so happy to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, lover.
Tell someone kind lies. No, we're all here because we're all so when's the last time we've been around this many angels?
That's the truth.
I mean, it's been a while. I mean, some of you may never remember ever doing it.
yeah, I don't know that I've ever been to one of these. I mean, I've been to, one of the underground games, and the night before and the night after tends to be a lot like this. But yeah, I've never been all angels.
You know how when you get around the people who are on your same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
When you find your people.
A bright light descends towards like the stage-ish area.
Moy flips down the extra sunglasses.
And Uriel, the angel of light, the whole place gets bathed in light,
Some of us start squinting.
Welcome.
Take out an extra pair of aviators and hand them to Wheels.
You find after a while, like your eyes that start to adjust to it.
Mm-hmm.
I welcome you all. What a glorious time. What a glorious day. The light feels warm and refreshing. I invite my colleague, Raphael, who is the angel of healing, to join us.
Like the angel that was by me before.
No, but the clothing is similar.
Mm.
Departmental affiliation.
Angels have essences or gophers and whatnot, right?
Even angels believe in the totalitarianism of uniforms.
It's yeah, I guess, or it's more like just identifying marks. But
Mhm.
there's a bit of hierarchy, right?
Yeah, there is. Angels are not exactly a classless society.
Raphael steps up, folds her wings in, takes a poignant moment to look around the whole crowd. Why are we here? Yeah, and that's about the looks on the faces, like, what?
Why are any of us here?
Moy's gonna like shout out, "Why aren't we not here?" Just to be
Smart ass. Why are we here? Why are we here? You can't help but start thinking and wondering. And
Moy's gonna turn to Death and say, "Why are we here?"
that was one of the emphases that came out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like Wheels reaches over and like smacks Moy on the back of the head.
I just didn't want to DM too much. I wanted to give you the player.
Yeah.
There's a chance to,
Moy's gonna feign, continuing to be kind of a smart ass about things, like feign like deep thought via beard stroking, but then maybe accidentally end up in deep thought.
That's the question I've been asking since we were on the road. Why are we here? Why are we getting together?
I mean, Lara, how comfortable are you with this when you feel like there's a tension on you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why are any of us here? Like, that's the question, right? Wheels, I think, feels the energy of the crowd and what has been going on for this day, and just kind of stands up and is like, yeah, why are we here?
I think Moyes might continue to be a little bit of a smart ass and be like, "Yeah, why don't you tell us?"
I think I don't know. I know I've not been doing my job.
Oh, intervention!
You are part of a team.
Well, that team, I was ready to do my job. My partner, my other half, he left me.
He left us all.
And you may all feel the repercussions, but it was too much. Too much. You all don't have to hear every day how these people suffer.
From the crowd, it's like, it was not his choice.
From what he told me, it sounded like he was choosing. But maybe that was a story he told me. Maybe it was too hard for him.
Sometimes, as death might confirm, we don't make things happen. We just fill the roles we were here for. Hope was having trouble sustaining and did not choose to leave.
I remember a time Moya's gonna like just use the wings for a moment to help pop up on the stage, or the whatever sort of raised platform. You know, I think it was you know, several extra thousands of years ago. But, and I don't know why hope leads us, but I think sometimes when we have a little too much hope, it might make us a little bit blind. And we don't really feel the need to take action. Sometimes if we hope too much that something's going to come along for us. And
You have been among the humans for some time now.
I think we needed to have to see it face to face. I mean,
Angel,
oh, go ahead.
I thought you were. I didn't know you were still going on. Angel of Death.
Yeah.
Is hope dead?
I think sometimes we can feel that way when we've had a lot of hurt in our existences. But no, hope is never dead.
But hope is not exactly alive either right now.
I
It's kinda
can't do
like
this
hope.
job alone.
Hey, kiddo, you came down here because you were starting to lose some hope in what you were, faith in what you were doing. And it's not like you came down here to you know, necessarily get the best experience of it all. But what hang on, I just want to check our character sheets. What do you hope for the future?
What do I hope for?
Mm-hmm. And since that is asking you about the future is a lure.
Yeah.
Setting.
I hope that we can regain like the way it was, and you know, that does involve pain and death and suffering at times, but when we face it with hope, I feel like we can keep moving forward.
Will never be like it is before, but yes, moving forward.
I'm just gonna like call on a random angel in the audience, whichever of you feels like you're up for it. I'm just gonna start asking people, you know, what, like, I'm gonna use a token and just ask a random angel in the audience, what can we learn from you about hope, as my what can I learn from you move.
We can have someone answer, or we can. My thought is, people start asking each other or more people about hope in the future. I was going to say someone's going to ask Wheels about the present. What do you hope for now? If someone has answers for some of the angels, interject.
Mm-hmm. Wheels is going to answer. I hope for someone to help me through this work again. I hope that I can take this on. But I can't. It's too much for one angel.
You hope for hope.
Hope for community.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who's answered the questions now start noticing their hands like a little ball of light in them.
I think one angel might say they hope to understand and they hope to be understood.
Birth starts floating up into the air, like not even moving their wings. As many of those discussions start breaking out about hope.
I think Moisha's gonna move over to Zipporah, and also give a look over to Lover, and say, I hope not to lose sight of love again.
I hope for love. We determined that your brother was Hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends, is it time for Hope to return?
I think rather than say anything, Moy kind of gives a like determined look and head nod, and just sort of raises the little orb up and kind of encourages a bunch of other people.
Others
to do
immediately
Mhm.
follow suit.
Yeah. And the orbs start to sort of lift up and slowly drift together, and
Birth lands next to Wheels.
Wheels still looks very nervous, but is like just
What
Birth-
are you afraid of?
getting hurt again.
Raphael glows. The divine healing. We will always get hurt, and we will always heal.
and I think Moy's gonna swing over and say, I don't think I could agree more, and both kind of show off the hurt wings and the extension, and kind of turn it on, and but also be holding on to Zipporah's hands and sort of tug at her as they go upwards. And so in order to not just be like hanging, Zipporah will tap on hers, and her wings will her wings will, like her artificial wings will open up, and the two of them are gonna just kind of drift upwards with the little bubbles of light.
Birth winks at death. And, opens their arms. The bubbles of light, as you described, start pulling together and moving towards Birth and Wheels. And it's kind of like the attention of the whole room is focused and reshifted to you are now the center.
Well, I guess this is where hope grows anew. And
There's the light, the light goes.
mm-hmm.
And the light settles in your arms. And I know what I have planned next. Anything before I
don't have any, no.
Okay. The light resolves shape, and there's a baby in your arms with little wing nubs.
This kid's got a world of, I don't know what ahead of them.
We do not know, for there is free will, even though it is written.
When I think Moy, sorry,
hope is born anew.
I think Moy and Zipporah are gonna float down and say, none of us know what we have ahead of us. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but at least this kid has us. Right, kiddo? And Moy's gonna sort of playfully pull Death into this like circle, so we have like Birth and Hope and the messenger.
Lover has to land.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Raphael's going to say teach hope, but I'm going to let each player decide what thing Raphael tells you to teach hope. I'm not going to fill your. I'm not going to.
Right.
Yeah.
So Alex and Death looks at Hope and says, to hope under the most extreme circumstances is an act of defiance.
So Moy's gonna say, I'm trying to look at Zipporah again also, and also sort of like down at the device that has been giving them a chance to have their own wings again, and say that hope isn't about making things back the way they were. Hope is about helping people find their way to what's next.
I think Wheels is going to look down at hope, and I've got to teach you that the world, the burdens, the hardships, all of it are not meant to be bared alone. And also, I got to teach you how to hit that nice drum line.
Lover will step up, give the kid a kiss on the head. Hello, old friend. You know, I'm going to teach you love. Unconditional love.
And I kind of feel like the other angels are gonna feel compelled to add the lessons that they've learned about hope, and even though they're not very loud, each of the whispers kind of
there's a shower of blessing and teaching. Yeah, probably takes hours, but feels like seconds.
and I was thinking about how I don't know if I'm going to say this out loud in a moment, but as a player in the storyline that we've had, I'm thinking about what Andy's going to knit for this kid.
So with love and joy and hope, clearly the evening winds down after the showering of blessings and gifts, and just kind of quietly fades into different conversations. Even Uriel and Raphael, I think Gabriel and Michael are going to make appearances. You know, they're the four. They all come and give blessings. People just kind of fade off till it's our little circle, our little family.
I told you all something was going to change today.
How's it feel to be a daddy? I'm gonna look at Lover and be like, not that kind of daddy.
One day you'll learn reverence.
It's not every day an angel is born as an angel.
Well, as Alex said, wasn't really dead. Just elsewhere, somehow else.
It's always there. It's just hard to grasp.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it feels like almost impossible to hold on to hope.
Yeah, just wait until this thing is a toddler.
Well, I was going to say, well, now all of us get to hold on to a little hope, and Wheels is going to hold the baby out and just like, somebody else, please take this kid for a little bit.
Death takes the baby and is like playing with hope. Alex had felt like a lot of loneliness, which had led to them being in their human life. But with hope, it feels like that loneliness is like solidly gone. And yeah, so, and holds, sorry. And so with hope there, death doesn't feel so lonely or hard.
I think Wheels kind of just, I hope that my brother is doing okay wherever he is.
This is your brother.
I know, but the past can be put behind now. And this little one gave me that.
Ask gets to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I, as a really cute little side thing, I want to add that while Alex has baby Hope, the chippy monk is in your hair because you've got that like mess of hair, and basically like playing peekaboo with the baby, going in and out of your hair.
I love that.
I do love Menachem on our back end and in the chat. You shared a poem that I
in
learned
the
about.
chat in the Twitch chat as well.
Put it in Twitch too.
I was like, I was enjoying reading it to myself, and I'm like, I want to read it out loud.
Hope is a thing with feathers. So, are we fading to close?
I think we're fading to a close, but I think if I'm picturing this as like a movie or a show, I think it's zoom in on one of our faces and somebody says, "Where to next?" And then it's done.
So let's debrief today. And then next time,
the full
we'll
debrief.
do the full debrief with epilogues.
Yeah.
Right? Character epilogues. A few minutes each to talk about where our characters end up or go next. So I'll start with the standard question. Favorite moments of today, what you appreciated about your play or somebody else's play. And if I'll go back to the order, I believe
it's
Mary, you were first.
Yeah. Yep. So I really love how we were all like playing on words, like death kind of holding hope and and like throughout the whole time, like today, it felt like that showed up a lot and it was great. I loved it.
I really appreciated how we had no idea where things were going, and then it all kind of clicked during the break, and we're like, oh, that's where we're going, and just building on that. And I love how Menachem ran with it because my brain was not going to be able to do it, plus I had to do a lot of the playing in it. So I appreciate that.
There were a lot of just kind of silly little moments where I got to ooh, the angel of sex. Of course, there's obviously many angels in that department. But also, I was going to also say just the fact that you came up with this idea several days ago about this brother character that you didn't remember. And it's like, oh, that's cool. Let's dig into that story. If no idea what to do with it, right? Mm-hmm. But just that we played to find out and got kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I think that Lara leaned really well into wheels, because I know that the kids of ours that have little ones are pretty eager to be like, oh, like like I'm so excited they brought their baby to the office, and that kind of stuff. But Wheels is just like, I don't know, what do I do with this thing? And I kind of really enjoyed the idea that Death gets to be the one with the Snow White moment with the animals. You know, that Menachem, even your character, got to like you've been pretty lighthearted this whole time, but there was something about today that felt less like trying to bring lightheartedness in and just kind of embracing it in the moment. And overall, I enjoyed that it took a whole community coming together to bring life into something, because I think that's something that's very, very queer, relatable. And I didn't think about that until after it was all done.
Yeah, I loved being able to dig into Wheels too a little bit to go, what is the story here? And turn out to be like why we were gathering.
Right.
Basically.
This is why I said before, Menachem, like I need a just, I'm not part of the story character. Too many of those. But yeah.
Oh, it only came out at the end, so you didn't have to play it the whole time.
Exactly.
So I just want to say, based on my question is, let's talk about hope. What is hope? What is the role of hope in your life? How do you keep hope alive? Is kind of a debrief, as a second debrief question. What is hope for you? How do you keep it alive?
So hope has actually been a really big thing in my life. Because I was born with what was a terminal illness at the time. I feel like it even started with needing hope. Like for me, to be honest, death and hope and illness and all of that were just realities and concepts that always followed me. And I started learning like the connection between like heart health. I took it really literally, because I had heart problems. So the heart and mind connection and all that. And I learned that, like as a teenager, that in order to have a heart transplant, I'd need to have a psychological evaluation and all that, and learned about the body-mind connection. And it was like, even though my parents lost my brother to the same thing before I died, they like had this hope for me that just it like got me through. And I don't know, they didn't even, it wasn't I don't even think it was a purposeful thing. It was just who I was. I just identified with hope and death. And yeah, I'm gonna have to, I think about this a lot for next time for the like
we're gonna have to bring up hope for the big thing.
Yeah, because it's like it's a huge concept. And then one day, because of Menachem, I learned the term hope punk. And I fell in love.
For me, hope is something interesting. I don't think of, like, I was like, I don't think about it all the time, but I think I realize I do. Like, I have hope for the future for myself, but sometimes things get in the way of that. But I think about my job, and one of the things that I talk about with clients is that I hold hope for all of them. Hope, like my job, I have to hope that people can change. I have to hope and hold hope for them when they can't even hold hope for themselves. And I think some of that might come out in how I didn't realize where Wheels was going, but this role that I gave Wheels in his backstory, holding hope for all those people, listening to their stories, that's what I do. And it takes a lot to listen to 25 to 30 people a week. And be the hope, hold the hope for them in moments they can't for themselves, so that they can heal and have that hope themselves. So I think that's a whole other thing that I wasn't even looking for in a game that came in. Thank you, intentional gaming. Yeah, Menachem.
I think of the song by Romanovsky and Phillips. They were like gay folk music in the 80s and 90s. Someone called them once the gay Simon and Garfunkel, and they kind of hoped that someone would call themselves the straight Romanovsky and Phillips. But they did a song called "No Such Thing as False Hope," right? And the power of holding up hope. And several of the songs on the album revisit the idea of hope. And I think, I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, just the sense that I can hold on to a sense of hope, right? I don't think I could do my work as a rabbi or a spiritual director if I didn't have a sense of hope, right? I don't think any of us could do our work if we didn't believe there was hope for something, for moving forward. So I guess it's just a thing I'm grateful for, that I'm just wired to hold on to hope. And maybe it's seeing the healing that we get to be part of in our work. It continues that hope, maybe. I don't know. That's a theory more than a knowing. But the idea that, yeah, no such thing as false hope.
It's interesting. I feel weird because I've I don't know, like hope kind of, I don't know that I had, or I don't know that I have much of a solid definition for, what hope is. I know that some do, and many others don't. I think the way I understood it for a long time was very stereotypical, and not really, I didn't have a whole lot of situations in which I grew up in which I think I felt like I really needed to have hope personally. I think that my parents getting divorced was a very good thing, and I did not hope they would get back together. But I thought it was interesting, even though it's like, I don't know, I don't like it as part of the series of Christian Bale Batman movies, but the storyline that they have for Bane, where he supposedly like grew up in a pit where they could see how they could escape, and that basically hope gave birth to despair. And so it was, I think that was the start of me connecting to hope in a much more nuanced and mature way, to understand that it is part of a balance or an ecosystem of some sort. That hope without any sort of reinforcement can become tiring. To be stuck in a cycle of poverty and have hope is great, but if there is no capacity for escape and forward progress, it can quickly become despair. So long and short of it, I think that hope is very much connected to some sort of progress, as big or small as that might be.
All right. I've shared a link to the song in case anyone wants to see it. Romanowski and Phillips in the Twitch chat. Sounds like we're going to talk about hope a little more in a couple of weeks when we do our big debrief and talk about what this game brought up for us, what it was all about, what we learned, what we found out by playing, because we play to find out. So to step out of the circle and back into our daily lives, for better or worse, hopefully somewhat the better, because the idea is you go into the circle, something happens, transformation occurs, and you come out a little bit elevated from where you went in. We'll do the name game in reverse. We'll say our character names, saying goodnight to the characters, and we'll say our player names in which each other greet, whatever we want to say to each other briefly.
I have been Menachem, or no, I have been Moy. Is that the second time I've done that? I have been Moy.
Good evening, Moy.
Boy.
Good to see you.
Moy.
It's because you're at the top of my Zoom, so I was looking at you. Not a Freudian slip at all.
You be me for a while and I'll be you.
Trade places. Lara, how do you feel about being married to Menachem for a little bit?
Sure.
Play to find out. I'm gonna go talk to my wife.
And my name is Nina.
Good night, Nina. Pleasant
Night,
dreams.
See you,
Nina.
Nina. Literally in a few minutes.
Yeah. Let's just start at the top of the order again.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
I have been Alex, the Angel of Death.
Good night, Death.
Good night.
Alex. Angel of Death,
Yeah.
different than death.
And I am Mary, or maybe.
Good night,
Pleasant dreams, Mary and Maggie. Glad you're here.
Welcome back.
And I've been Wheels today.
Wheels.
Sleep tight, Wheels.
Yeah. Wheels.
Sleep tight.
Yeah, right. I got a kid now. And I'm Laura.
Pleasant dreams, Lara.
Night, Laura.
I have been Leva, the angel of love.
See you,
Night,
Laura.
love.
Sweet dreams, lover.
And I am Menachem.
Hey, Menachem.
Hey, Menachem.
Knock.
Definitely not Nina.
I like being me and I like you being you.
All right. Yeah. Me too.
Good night, everybody.
Good night to everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope you join us for the debrief in a couple weeks.